Section C, I can use 6-1. That's the very first lesson of this unit. And in that lesson, we're talking about combining like terms. So this says Joe simplified 3 expressions showing his work. Joe has 3 steps for each one. His work is incorrect. Describe his errors. So let's take a look at this first line. This first line will always be fine because this is the problem. There's no issues up here. This is where Joe wrote down the problem, and he wrote down the problem correctly. So you're going to find the error in step 2 or step 3. So in this one, the very first one, he's doing 7 minus 5m and getting 2m. Now, are 7 minus 5m like terms? No, one's a constant and one is a variable term. So those cannot be combined. He does the same mistake over here. He takes the 3 plus 8m and he's claiming that it is 11m. So he's made the mistake in writing his answer to step 2, 2m plus 11m. Then Joe goes even, well, I guess it's not that bad because these are like terms, but they're the wrong like terms because he made his mistake up here. So he did 2m plus 11m. Now he does it right. He combines like terms, but it's too late because he was combining unlike terms up here. So 13m is not going to be correct. So describe his errors. Joe combined unlike terms. Here's an example that Joe did. 7 minus 5m. He got what? 2m. Can't do that, Joe. No good. All right, so we're going to come down here and we are now going to simplify the expression properly. So we're going to fix Joe's errors. So I would suggest going to all of your minus signs and do the additive inverse. That way you have all plus signs. When you have all plus signs, you can move things around. That's called the commutative property. And so we can move our like terms together. So we're going to move our m terms down here, negative 5m plus 8m plus 7 plus 3. We just resorted the problem, and we're going to put our like terms together now. Negative 5m plus 8m with a t-chart. Remember to use t-charts. Bring that 5 over and subtract. We are on the positive side, so that's positive 3m. And we'll combine these like terms. 7 plus 3 is 10. Now do not be tempted to put these together because they are not like terms. So this is what Joe should have gotten. Alright, going back to Joe's second attempt with a new problem. He makes another mistake. Let's do this one. Actually, I'm going to have you pause the video and try this one on your own. Okay, I found the mistake for Joe. Hopefully you did too. These lines are telling you what Joe is putting together. I did go to the subtraction sign and did the additive inverse. So it's adding a negative 5k. And so I can see that Joe's putting the k terms together. That's good. He learned from his first one. So negative 5k plus 3k is negative 2k. So that's good. And then he put 4 plus negative 8, which is a negative 4, and that's good. He brought down the plus sign. That's good. And then he went from here. He probably felt like he wasn't done, like he had still something to do. He had a plus sign. And so unfortunately, Joe had forgotten about not combining unlike terms. So these are not like. One has a k and one doesn't. So you cannot do this, Joe. He tried to add them together. This is a no. So describe his errors. In step 3, he combined unlike terms again. Let's go down here and do it correctly. So we're going to do additive inverse so we can use the commutative property. We're not going to rewrite like we did on the first one. We're just going to combine like terms like Joe does with the arrows. We're going to put our k's together. Negative 5k plus 3k with your t-chart, just to make sure you're safe, is negative 2k. Then negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. We'll bring down the plus sign. And this is your answer. We're not going to combine them. There is a better way to write this as negative 2k minus 4. Okay, we're going to move on to this last one and see what Joe did. But before you begin, remember there is a 1 right here in the front of this. That will help you. We're also going to help you with the subtraction sign. So we're going to do additive inverse there. We're going to go into here and go additive inverse. Pause the video and see if you can figure out what Joe did. He really messed this one up. All right, hopefully you found that Joe did not do the distributive property. He didn't even do it. So he went right to just not even seeing the parentheses there and not knowing there was a 1 in front, and he did not distribute the negative to the 8g and the negative to the negative 10. And that's going to really mess things up. So 7g plus 8g, he put 15g, which is not going to work. And 5 plus negative 10 is negative 5. His math's right, but he skipped the distributive property. And so Joe has a big error. This right here is not good. What Joe did do right, though, he took his answer here that was not good, incorrect, but he wrote it in a better way down here. Instead of adding a negative, he had subtract a positive. So good for you in step 3, Joe, but unfortunately you get no points on this question. So what happened to Joe? Well, in step 2, he did not do the distributive property. Distributive property skipped. All right. Let's come down here and do this. Now here's a parentheses. There's no number in front, and we know we can multiply anything by 1. And that's one of our practices. So we can put 1 there. Then any subtraction sign, we can do additive inverse. We can come inside here and do additive inverse. And we know we have to do the distributive property first. And that means negative 1 times 8g and negative 1 times negative 10. Let's do that first. Remember gems? Okay. So negative 1 times positive 8g is negative 8g. And negative 1 times negative 10, a negative times a negative is a positive 10. Bring down the plus sign. Bring down all these things we did not use. 7g plus 5 plus. All right, now we can combine like terms because we have all addition signs. So we'll put together 7g with negative 8g and get negative 1g. And 5 plus 10 is 15. And this is the answer, but there's a little bit better way to write it. You don't need the 1 there because 1 times g is g, so you could just put negative g plus 15. Both of these mean the same thing. Either way would be correct. On a mastery scale, you have 0 knowledge of how to find an error and correct it, or are you completely ready?